Shabbat Shalom. Nice to see everybody. I appreciate the conducting hand gesture to welcome us all in. You all should have received a blue prayer book on your way in, but you won't need one quite yet. If you didn't get one, though, do raise your hand, and a board representative will be happy to run one to you. But like I said, you don't need those words quite yet. We'll begin this evening with a nigun, a yai lai lai melody. I do invite you to join me in singing. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. It is so nice to see all of you that are joining us here in person this evening for Shabbat. We welcome those of you who are joining us online as well. We welcome in Shabbat with our Kabbalat Shabbat section of our service where we receive Shabbat. And sometimes when we receive something, we need to do something to prepare ourselves for that moment. So as we receive Shabbat this evening, I invite you to prepare yourselves in the way that you see fit, whether that might be taking a deep breath in, maybe giving your neck a little side to side, rolling your shoulders a little bit. If it's physical, it can also be something inside, something that you think or something that you bring your attention to. I invite you to set an intention, a kavanah, for your prayer this evening as we enter into Shabbat. So I'll give you a moment to think about your intention for this evening as we light our Shabbat candles on page 2.
On page 2, I invite you to join me in singing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We turn to the top of page 11. Dodi li, my beloved is mine and I am my beloved, words that come from Song of Songs.
Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li mizot olah min hamidbar, mizot olah min hamidbar. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li libaftini achoti chala, libaftini achoti chala. Dodi li
We'll turn to page 12. L'chuna Ranana, Psalm 95. Come, let us sing joyously to God.
Sing out to God, the maker of all, pure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear God's song. La, 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 la.
Page 20, the words of L'chadodi as we welcome in our Shabbat Queen, our Sabbath bride.
We'll use the refrain on top of page 20, as well as verses 1, 2, and 9. L'chadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. L'chadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el ham yuchad, Adonai echad, shmo echad, v'shem tiferet v'litchila l'chadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. L'chadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, berosh mekedem nesucha, sof na'aseh b'machshava tchila l'chadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'tzochola, toch emunei amserula. Boi chala lechadodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela.
We're called together as one community in prayer with the words of Baruch Hu. Page 28, please rise in body or spirit as you are comfortable.
La, 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 la. Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
may be seated. We'll read together on the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We'll turn to page 34. Words that come from our Torah, Shema Yisrael, the declaration that God is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. On page 40, we'll sing together Micha Mocha, our song of hope, our song of redemption and freedom.
Yai lai 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 la lai 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 la lai. Yai lai 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 la lai la lai lai. Yai lai 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 la lai. Yai lai 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 la lai la lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehi lo rosefele, nora tehi lo rosefele. Malchutecha la'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zelianu ve'ameru, Zelianu ve'ameru. Adonai yimloch le'olam, le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam, le'olam va'ed.
The Hashkivenu is our prayer for protection and peace. And it seems that sometimes when we offer this prayer, it seems like we're offering it for others, those in Ukraine, those across the world who are in need of protection, who are in need of peace. And sometimes it feels as though we are offering this prayer for ourselves. In this time of increased anti-Semitism, of the rhetoric over the past month and really past 4 to 5 years, has really brought, I think, a sense of fear within the Jewish community. And sometimes we, too, need to pray for this sense of protection, a sense of peace for us and for the entire Jewish community as well as the entire world. We'll turn to page 42 as we sing together this prayer for protection and peace, our Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, shalom. V'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
On page 46, we rise for our tefillah, our amidah of our Shabbat evening liturgy. We'll offer the words, Adonai safatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. You may rise if you're comfortable doing so.
Adonai safatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imachot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Bezrat Sarah.
Page 52. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yachalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. You may be seated. We'll pause now for a moment of your own reflection and meditation. We'll join together again on page 62.
Four lines down from the top of the page on page 62. The words Patach libi b'toratecha uv'mitzvotecha tirdof nafshi. Open my heart to your Torah that I may pursue your mitzvot. פתח ליבי בתורתך, פתח ליבי בתורתך, ובמצוותיך, ובמצוותיך, תרדוף נפשי.
At this point in our service, we offer our blessings, our prayers for healing. Whether you're in need of healing of body or of mind or of spirit, we think of anyone who is in need of that kind of healing, those kinds of healing now. We'll turn to page 253 as we hold all those in our hearts and our minds as we offer these prayers for healing.
Shebeirach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Limoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. B'Shebeirach Imoteinu Mikor HaBracha Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Have you ever seen one of those Jacob's Ladder toys? Has anyone seen those? Yes? They're the multicolored blocks connected by ribbons that create some kind of optical illusion. The description for the toy online reads, "Mesmerize your eyes and hands with the original, American-made Jacob's Ladder." It's an uncomplicated design, but it works like magic. Hold on to the top block and tilt it until it meets the block just below it. Suddenly, clunk, 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 in one cascading movement, they all flip and flop, one right after the other. This toy that we all know about is named after a well-known biblical story that comes from our Torah, which happens to be part of this week's Torah portion. Much like the Jacob Ladder's toy, the Torah portion is somewhat magical and mesmerizing. In the Torah, our ancestor Jacob journeys from his homeland to Haran to find a wife. We read, "He came upon a certain place and stopped there for the night, for the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of that place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. He had a dream. A stairway, a ladder, was set on the ground, and its top reached to the sky, and the angels of God were going up and down on it. And God spoke to Jacob during his slumber and promised that very land to Jacob and his descendants. Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, 'Surely the Eternal is present in this place, and I did not know it.' Jacob laid his head down on a rock to sleep, and suddenly he had a dream that this ladder was on the ground, set all the way up to heaven, with angels going up and down on it." This sounds special. It maybe even sounds somewhat mesmerizing if you think of the angels kind of going up and down this ladder, almost like a lava lamp, I imagine. So special, in fact, that the word sulam, which means ladder or stairway, is a word that only appears one time in the entire biblical narrative. The word is only used in this story of Jacob's ladder. Even though many of us may consider the Torah a very God-centric and filled with many moments where God appears or speaks to Moses or Abraham, even for the Torah, this is an uncommon moment. Not only is this word sulam only used once, but the phrase that follows it is also noteworthy. The verse continues, "A stairway or ladder was set on the ground, and its top reached the sky, and the angels of God were going up and down on it." The great medieval Torah commentator Rashi points out that this verse says the angels of God were going up and down. One might typically think that angels, which maybe one might think dwell on high or live in heaven above, would first descend and then go up the ladder. But instead, we can presume that the angels, in fact, were already on earth, or they were already with Jacob. But it's not until Jacob rests his head, or maybe even his mind, that he realizes that God and the angels were with him. For at the end of this episode of the narrative, Jacob proclaims, "God was in this place and I didn't know it," meaning God was always in this place, but Jacob hadn't yet experienced God in this capacity. The great Torah scholar Nehemiah Leibowitz said, "Sometimes the very willingness to subordinate one's mind makes the mind receptive to matters undreamed of." Jacob is an example of such an attitude. After his dream, Jacob realized two important things about God. Nehemiah Leibowitz teaches that the first thing that he realized about God was that God had permanent residence on earth, and the second was that God was consistently accompanying Jacob on his and throughout his journey, even though he hadn't realized it yet. And as Leibowitz pointed out, God wanted to broaden Jacob's spiritual horizons. So this story of Jacob's ladder reminds us to open our eyes to new possibilities. Just as Jacob never believed that God was accompanying him throughout the journey, it was at that moment of rest when the reality of the holiness, the divine quality of that place was revealed to him. Each of us live really busy lives. We move around from place to place, running to this and that, work, the gym, restaurants, theater, whatever it might be. And sometimes we don't stop. We maybe sit down, we maybe go to sleep, but we don't always allow our mind to rest. Our mind to realize the holiness, the beauty that is around us. And so the story of Jacob's ladder reminds us to take that moment to rest our minds and our bodies and to open ourselves to the possibilities of the spirituality that is around us. On this Shabbat, may we all take a moment to rest our bodies and our minds and open up our own spiritual horizons. Shabbat Shalom. We'll turn to page 282. Please rise for the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שברונות שמיים ועושד ארץ, ומושב עיקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Page 289. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, and light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. On this Shabbat, the Sukkot Shalom community remembers Diane Hirsch Greenspan, Bert Hirsch, Helene Gomberg, Marilyn Cohen, Sylvia Seidenberg Aviv, Irving Goodman, Miriam Gottlieb, Jane Zimmerman, Jewel Leff Sheps, William Bill Heller, Fan Lappin, Mary Pick Hines, Nathan Cohn, Nada Cohn, Florence Shaman, Jeffrey Josephson, Sue Kobach, Dorothy Hefter Brow, Dorothy Wiener, Edward Liebsen, Erwin Silverman, Max Rubin, Ann Paris, Arlene Schwartz, Cyril Shapiro, Emery Homer, Ernest Reith, Judith Rouser, June Bunnan, Naomi Cohen-Weiss, Nina Bunnan, Dorothy Gustafson, Leonard Norman Davis, Sherwin Schreier, Jean Unger Schleifer, Louise Bernstein, Norman Carl, Sylvia M. Hirsch, Ada Goldstein, Lionel Golbat. Are there any other names that you would like to recall this evening? We rise together as one community as we offer these words of Mourner's Kaddish, Kadisha Tome, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Ba'alma divarach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam umei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, Shemei d'kudasha b'richu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata, Damiran b'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be an abiding blessing.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimeru Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Just a few announcements to remind you about upcoming events. We have Family School Tikkun Olam Day on Sunday. We have our olive oil tasting program on December 8th and our Hanukkah Shabbat, early Hanukkah Shabbat celebration on December 16th. We hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.